Hello everyone, welcome back to the vlog. My name is Summer. I'm a professional dancer who currently works on cruise ships, and I'm here to blabber on about my job and my life. I just finished a sports day today, so I thought we could spend the evening together. We have no show tonight. I have no duties. I finished them all for the day, so I have a completely free evening. So I'm gonna take you along with me and we're gonna do what we do. It is just after 5 o'clock right now. I have just made an Alani because I want to rally and go to the gym, but I am very tired. We are just leaving San Juan now. We were here last night for an overnight, which was so much fun. I didn't have anything yesterday, so I got to spend the whole day outside, which was so nice to not have to worry about rushing back to the ship to make all aboard or anything like that. Being on land at night is also very surreal, but quite cleansing, if you will, when the opportunity does come. Maddie and I actually had a little day together yesterday, and we had planned for a very long time to go make matching bears at Build-A-Bear. We saw it on a TikTok once and then had our minds set to it, and the only place that had a Build-A-Bear was in San Juan, so we did that yesterday. I did try to vlog it, but it was so incredibly busy in there. It was almost impossible. We spent an hour and a half waiting in lines, basically. We were very determined. But I do have a little clip of when we got them back onto the ship and unboxing them and all that kind of stuff, so I will put that in here. We got our bunnies. Would you like to say your name?
Yes, this is Petunia Lynn.
And this is Solstice Eve.
My middle name's Eve.
My middle name is Lynn.
And the first names we just chose.
Just out of random. So, like I said, it was absolutely crammed in there. It took us an hour and a half to get through the store.
So many children. It was a Sunday. Didn't think that through.
We didn't contemplate that it was a day for families. So we're gonna dress them now because we didn't have time to dress them in the store. I did buy her 2 different outfits. I went a little overboard, but it's fine. There they are. Cute. Adorable. And that's it. So that was super fun. And then last night we went out to a little piano bar that I found on TikTok again. It was super cute. It was in Old San Juan, so it was really vibey and cool. And then I had to work all day today. I had to get up very early, so I decided to come back to the ship and go to bed. But nonetheless, it was very fun. And then I went out today for a little coffee and a little walk around in between my games, so that was really nice. Now I'm going to get this Alani in my body, and then we're gonna rally and go to the gym. Scratch that. We're not going to the gym. It's so busy up there. It's 6 o'clock. I don't know why it's so busy. Usually the gym is like completely empty by now because everyone's getting ready for dinner. So I'll just have a lot of energy for nothing. Back in the room, back to painting, but crazy times. We actually have so many plans for getting off the ship this cruise. I have plans to get off the ship for the next 3 days. Tomorrow we're back in St. Kitts, so we're going to go back to Palms Court that we went to last time we were in St. Kitts. There are 3 ships in tomorrow, including us, so it might be slightly busy. And then the next day is St. Bart's. We have been there once. We got off very briefly and walked around, but this time I think what we want to do is go to the other side of the island to go to the beach. I've heard the beaches on that side of the island are like so incredibly gorgeous. So I am very excited for that. And then the day after that, we are in Saint Martin, and that is where the beach is that all the planes fly over. And I've always seen pictures, but I've never seen it in real life. So I am planning on also going to that beach. So lots of beaches coming up. For the last like few days, I would say, I have been getting such a travel bug. And I know like technically I travel for my job. I am currently traveling, like I'm not where I live, but us being here and working on the ship and traveling is so much different than actually traveling. I, one, don't get to pick where we go. Two, I never really have that much time to explore places. Like today, I really wanted to walk around San Juan and like experience old San Juan, but I only had really 2 hours to be able to do that. So I didn't have the time necessary to really like thoroughly enthrall myself in San Juan. And you're always worried about getting back to the ship in time, so you're never really fully immersed in the experience. You're always kind of thinking in the back of your mind, like, I have to be somewhere at a certain time. So I am very much getting the travel bug again, and I might have to start looking into my next place that I would like to go on vacation. If there's anywhere that you've been on vacation and spent like a lot of time there and you really thoroughly enjoyed, let me know in the comments and I will look it up and see if it should go on my list. I do want to go somewhere though that has like a lot of culture, a lot of history. I really like learning things while I'm traveling. Obviously, like learning about the country that you're in is inevitable, but like seeking out learning about the country that you're visiting is definitely something I also like to do. So visiting somewhere like very rich in history and culture would be probably near the top of my list. For me, also working on a ship, I've never been to any countries that are like more inland. Obviously, I've only been on countries that are attached to bodies of water. So it's like there's a whole world out there that I don't even know about. Inland countries. Good afternoon. It is another day, another dollar. We're in St. Kitts today, so we went back to Palms Court to have a little dip in the pool and some sunshine this morning. Whoa, I sprayed so much of that on my face. The UV was crazy high today, and I did not know that until we had been there for about 2 hours. Granted, I'm not very burnt. I'm just a little bit burnt on my nose, tiny little bit on my forehead, and right here for some reason. Like that's, the rest of my arm is fine. It's just right here. Although I do think that is because I despise the feeling of sunscreen. I don't even like most lotions. Like there's very few body lotions that I can tolerate because I don't like feeling anything on my skin, especially on the palms of my hands. Like every time I put my skincare on, I have to wash my hands after. So I think after I put my sunscreen on and I washed my hands, I probably got all of here wet as well and rubbed off the sunscreen from my wrists. So we're a little bit burnt on the wrists, tiny little bit on the nose, but all in all, not bad. And it was a really nice day. Although there are 3 ships in today, us, a Marella, and a P&O. So it was incredibly busy. I get too nervous like vlogging or anything when it's really busy like that because I don't know kind of the rules of like filming in public. Obviously, I don't want to like blast anyone's face that doesn't know they're being blasted. There were also kids there today, so like just not a territory I'm gonna go into. So I kept the vlogging there to a minimum. Also, we weren't really doing anything that was vlog worthy. Like I'm sitting next to the pool on my phone talking to my mom. Like not very exciting, not really necessary to put in the vlog. I think in total we spent about 3 hours outside today, and then we came back. We have a show tonight, so I didn't want to spend too long in the sun. It is our easiest show, so it's not that bad. If I am really tired from the sun, it's not a huge deal. Like, I don't even sweat in this show. It's very simple for us. But just the mentality of it being a show day, I didn't want to stay out too long. Do you hear that? Oh, that's like nails on a chalkboard. Don't do this to me right now. The makeup for this show is also extremely simple. Basically, we wear zero eyeshadow. We chisel our faces to the gods and wear a bright red lippy. Extremely simple. I'm not the best at contouring. I feel like no matter how hard I try, it just kind of disappears when I put it on. Like, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't really do much for me, but hey, that's the brief. Tomorrow we are in St. Bart's. I'm very excited. We've only been there once this whole contract so far, and I did get off, but we didn't really do anything. We kind of just walked around. I got a coffee somewhere, which was extremely expensive. St. Bart's, whoa, moolah. We actually don't have that many cruises left here in the Caribbean. I was looking at it today because I had told my mom that I have too much stuff here, and she brought up the idea of her flying down to Miami for a weekend and possibly bringing a suitcase home for me, which would be absolutely lovely. So today I was looking at cruises and embarkation days of when we're in Miami and stuff like that, and we actually don't have that many until we cross over to the Med, which is beautiful. The Caribbean is nice, but only for a certain amount of time. I feel like once you've done a couple cruises, it gets a little tiring just because you can't really get off the ship and just wander somewhere. You pretty much have to get a taxi somewhere. Things are a little bit further away. It's not as easily accessible as the ports in Europe are. All that to say, I am very much looking forward to crossing over to the Med. This is called using your products until they're completely gone. Look at that. I'm literally carving out the perimeter of this bronzer. What are everyone's thoughts on getting ready in complete silence? Because I love it. I love when there's no one in here. It's completely dead silent. I don't put anything on my phone. I just let myself get ready in the quiet. But Maddie tells me I'm literally crazy for that. So what are everyone else's thoughts? I know getting ready music obviously is like a vibe, but sometimes I just want peace and quiet. And I didn't think that was that crazy, but apparently it is. My blush broke. No. This blush is so pigmented too. This is gonna stay in my pants forever. No, I can't even get up.
Dude, I promise you.
You two need to like to do this every time.
I told you I was one of these.
1, 2,
I'm trying to
3.
think about I did.
That was so bad.
My side was good.
1, 2, 3.
So it's together.
That's nice.
But
If it wasn't, okay.
1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna genuinely
Why'd you
in
hesitate?
Aquarius as I'm running towards something.
Don't cuss at my vlog.
1,
non-equities.
1, 2, 3.
What is that?
What's going on over here, Summer?
You are doing weird things.
You gotta do this.
I'm going on a horizontal plane.
1, 2, 3.
There we go.
No,
That's fine.
That was better.
honestly,
Okay.
happened.
don't know if our plans are gonna work today. We're waiting to get on the tender now, but apparently there's still over 100 guests waiting to get off the ship, and some of our friends have been standing waiting for the tender for 30 minutes, so I don't know if this is gonna work. If it takes a long time for us to get off, I think we'll just go to the close beach instead of going all the way to the hiking beach, because it is like a 15-minute drive, plus then 20 minutes in, 20 minutes out. By the time that is all said and done, it's not gonna be good, so.
We had such a fun day.
I love tender boards.
Well, unfortunately, looks like today's not the day. We waited for 30 minutes. There's still a whole bunch of people in the line ahead of us, and they're only running 2 tenders today. So looks like it would be another 45-ish minutes until we actually got on a tender, or maybe even an hour. Then it's a 20-minute ride to shore. So really, by the time we got to shore, we would have to just turn around and come straight back. So it's just not worth it, unfortunately. Looks like we're having a day on board. This vlog is going to be very realistic of what it's like to be a crew member on a cruise ship, because I feel like I've literally not shown anything interesting, just a bunch of real life scenarios. I would say 80% of the time, it's really just boring things happening here, and 20% of the time, actually doing fun things. But hey, I'm cool with keeping it real. Now, I don't know what to do because I'm all greased up with my sunscreen, and I hate sunscreen very much. I'm a little crispy still from yesterday, so I guess it's a good thing I'm not gonna be in the sun, and I would go sit up on the top deck and tan, but I am too crispy for that. So I guess I will shower off the sunscreen, then maybe we'll head to the gym. I also do need to do my laundry, so we could do that. I could paint. We're gonna find things to do today. We're gonna make it a good day on board. Tried to go do my laundry. It's so busy in there. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go to the gym first, then gonna try and do the laundry. Got back from dinner. I ended up going to the gym, having a really good workout today, which is fantastic. Then I did my laundry, which went off without a hitch, thank goodness. I went back after I went to the gym and it was pretty much dead in there. So did that. Then we had a meeting, a full cast meeting with our assistant cruise director. We got a new whole management team basically a couple of weeks ago, and so we had a meeting just to go over how they like to do things, run things. Every cruise director and assistant cruise director likes to do things differently. So we went over that, no major changes, which is great. Then headed up to dinner, and now we are back in the room. Very sad that we couldn't do our hike today, but next cruise, we go to Granada, so we've been looking at hikes in Granada. I don't know why we chose Granada. To me, Granada just, it spoke to me as a place where there might be good hikes, which there are. There are 3 potentials that we're looking at. 2 of them have waterfalls, which would be very cool. Now we're gonna relax the rest of the night, I think. I have to watch another episode of this crime documentary that I've been watching, and probably early to bed because we can. And when we can, I take the opportunity. actually hilarious, dude. Good morning from St. Martin. We had we had drill this morning, and then we had lunch. Now Dade and I are walking to a beach. We were going to go to this beach that is pretty famous. There's like the planes fly over it quite close. Maho Beach, but it ended up being like a 45-minute taxi away from the port. And Dade and I did not want to be in a taxi for 45 minutes. So Dade and I are now walking to the beach that's close, and we're going to just go suss it out, see what's there, maybe take a dip. I said maybe I'll have a beer today, which is,
Oh my god.
unheard of. Board now. That was such a nice beach. We walked like all the way to the very end of the beach because it was really busy with people in chairs and all that kind of stuff. So we walked all the way to the end where there was no chairs. There was literally like 3 people there maybe, and just plopped our stuff down in the sand. The water was so nice. It wasn't too cold. It was a great temperature. It was so blue, and it was just a really fun time. But we didn't spend too long out there because Dade and I are both sunburnt from St. Kitts a few days ago, so we didn't want to make it worse. I didn't find a magnet or a postcard that I liked. The problem with the Caribbean ports, I feel, I like postcards that are in the style of like hand-drawn or watercolor or something like that. And most postcards in the Caribbean are just like a photo taken on a camera from the beach that says St. Martin on it. But that's okay. I have a Polaroid of the day, so that counts as a postcard.